that activists and the people that activists fight for can use. And so, yeah, the idea is to both build a bunch of freedom-preserving AI tools, and also to fight against some of the kind of surveillance hellscape that some AI companies and some countries use AI to achieve. So sometimes I feel like this, it's a picture of David and Goliath, right? Like, I'm a humble open source developer. I have like 100 friends who are similar to me, who dedicate themselves to this. And we have big, strong adversaries, right? The biggest countries in the world control the money. And we are kind of fighting against that, and at times it feels somewhat hopeless. I feel like I'm not a democracy activist, but I feel like you guys might feel the same way. We might feel similarly at times when we feel like we have an adversary that's much stronger than us. We don't really have a chance against. But maybe that's not true, because Goliath looked big, but David had his sling. Right? We don't have a sling, but we have Bitcoin, right? Which helps individuals punch above their weight. We have Cashew, a way to an eCash, a way to use Bitcoin privately. It's very simple. We have Nostr, right? A way to get our message out without the possibility of censorship. And we also have AI. AI is something that empowers individuals and activists, right? It's a force multiplier for the individuals, the abilities of an individual, right? You can sort of augment your intelligence by using these AI tools. And I want to show you something like this today, right? So you probably use something like ChatGPT. You ask it questions, it gives you an answer, right? So it can do more than that, right? And so I want to give you kind of a glimpse into the future, and I want you to play along. This is something I will ask you all to scan and try on your devices. So yeah, just scan this QR code. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up a website. Actually, I'll make even a bigger QR code just in case it's small. It'll open a little website, and you don't need to do anything yet. I'll get the demo started. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just describe in English what the idea for like an app, some software, and this AI is going to create it for us, which is pretty wild. A year ago, this seemed like total science fiction, and now it's actually how many of the developers who are giving talks today do our day-to-day work, right? We're no longer actually typing into the keyboard, writing computer code. We ask an AI to kind of do it for us, and then we maybe review it. And it's been very, very powerful, but it's not something that only developers can use. It's something that anybody can use. So many of the people who are people who aren't, like, it's basically everyone can become a developer to some extent now. And so yeah, with that, let me actually give you a demo here. It's going to be a little hard with one hand. So you'll see something kind of like this pop up, right? So we have the developers of this tool, Shakespeare.diy. It's really cool. It's basically a couple people who are Nostr developers, and they built like a Nostr native way of doing this sort of thing. So they were kind enough to help us get set up with some credits to use this. So all you got to do is just kind of agree to the terms here, and just redeem this little account, right? And so you're greeted then with an interface that looks a lot like ChatGPT, right? It's just or any of these AI tools we've used in the past, where you can enter some language and it'll do something. So the first thing you want to do is choose a model. So this is basically which AI you're using, and I would recommend you to use this middle one that says Shakespeare / Claude-Sonnet 4.5. It's the one with $2 signs, I guess. Do the one with $2 signs. This is the one that the developer recommended me to have you guys try. So I'm guessing very few of you have built a Nostr app, but that's what we're going to build here. So I'm going to put the microphone down and actually type out a prompt describing an idea for an app. So yeah, watch this. Famous last words in a demo. Okay, I'll just talk out loud. I have a very loud voice. You've probably heard me out in the thing. So I'll say, make me a website like Twitter in the style of The Matrix, the movie The Matrix. So yeah, I'm just saying make a website like Twitter. And this thing is sort of a Nostr native, so it'll just use Nostr by default. And I'm going to say, you could use any style. Don't make it look like Twitter. Make it look like The Matrix. Just have it give it a little flair, And I'll also say, one kind of interesting thing about a censorship-resistant protocol like Nostr is that anyone can post anything. So you tend to get some sort of not safe for work stuff. So I'm just going to say, display text only, just because this is live streaming and there's an audience. Display only text. And I would also encourage you to not click on any links if you follow along. And I'm going to put one more thing. You don't have to do it. I just want to, I'm going to ask it to do this one extra thing, just so I can kind of show you that it works. I'll say, after posting a note, allow me to copy the event ID. And this will just allow me to say, like, hey, once I demo this little thing, once we were able to make kind of a tweet, I just want to be able to show you guys that it actually works, and you can display it in another app, and then you just let it rip. So this is going to take a few minutes, and I'm gonna walk. Oh, okay. So it's asking a prompt here, and yeah, this is not the computer I practiced this demo on, so it's a little bit. Hopefully it works. And so the interface you see might be a little different on mobile. So on the left side, it's now started to talk to me. It's describing what it does. So it created a folder called Matrix Microblog. It just created a CSS file. This is a thing in programming that allows you to change the colors of websites and stuff like that. So this is basically a machine programmer that is making a website for us, right? If you ever tried to hire a programmer to make a website for you, it's quite expensive. You know, they'll charge you thousands of dollars. They'll take a month or two of time, and this is going to cost us like $5, which is expensive in some sense, but relative to hiring a programmer, it's almost free. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Who is following along? Raise your hand. Okay, I need more people. While we're doing this, I need more. We need to pump these numbers up. I want you to scan this QR code and try this. You have to do it. You came all the way here. It's 5 p.m. Give it a try. Is anyone having technical difficulties? I called in a few of my top guys here, including Pablo, the people who gave talks who are experts at this type of thing. If anybody, okay, so look at this. That was like 2 minutes, and it already has this beautiful little interface that I don't think I could create if I tried. It's still getting some errors, right? So it's trying to render this website as it goes, and it'll make the errors, and it will correct them. But this is already quite impressive. And the first time we try it, I think it will probably fail, but it's kind of interesting that we'll see what happens. So, okay, a little hard to do here. Let's say reload page. Okay, this is pretty wild. So, okay, so it rendered it for 1 second, and there was an error. It crashed. But look at this little Clippy thing. It's like Shakespeare's head on Clippy. It will notice the errors and fix them. So we're going to probably have to do a couple little rounds of this before it is actually working. But this is also quite wild. It's fixing problems, and we don't have to think about it. Anybody run into any errors? Is there anyone I can help as we go? Is there anything for Pablo to do? Pablo looks bored. Okay, we're trying. Here's the second try. So you'll see here, it's already actually pulling notes off of Nostr. These are notes, so there's a lot of stuff in Japan. Here's an op return. Actually, I know who runs that. That's my friend Ben in Austin. And so one really interesting thing here is that we didn't have to ask any permission to do this, right? If you've ever tried to do this with Twitter, you cannot do this without getting an API key, it's called, right? So you have to basically beg for permission. This used to be possible like 10 years ago. Since Elon took over, this is like basically not possible anymore. So to write a program to a new app that can fetch stuff from Twitter or Facebook or any of these things, you have to beg for permission. This is a really great thing with Nostr. You don't. And that's very empowering for developers. Okay, let's go. So this thing is now pulling in notes just off the global Nostr. And so, yeah, there's, don't click on any links there. There might be a little not good. And so there's a sign up button. And so this is actually allows us to create, people are asking like, what is an account on Nostr, right? So this is basically an account, generate my secret key. So this is just a big string of text. And okay, I download it. Oh, wow, this is different than the one I did previously. Okay, actually, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to mistype stuff, demoing. See if it'll let me do that. Okay, so I made a little account about myself. I basically just uploaded some information about myself. And now this is the moment of truth. I bet it won't work, but let's try it. Seems like it didn't work, but let's have it fix the errors. Usually in like one or two more attempts, it'll be able to figure this out. So we got it to read posts from Nostr, and now we're just trying to post to it. Okay, maybe we need to reload. Did I not click it? It's very difficult to even get the mouse to go in the right position here at this angle. There we go. Yeah, no, I think here. Let's just try. Let's try a reload. Shorter message. Yeah, no, I think there's still some errors. Oh. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Get the messages even shorter here. Hi. Oh no. It might take a second. How's everyone else doing? Has anyone else got the posts to display? Who's working on it? Raise your hand. He's got it. He's got it. Okay, if I can't figure this out, we might have to try, if somebody else actually gets it to post, we can, I'll show you how to deploy it. So I'll try to wrap this up in 5 minutes because I know you guys have been here for a long time. Try one more time. I'm just going to tell it I can't post, and hopefully it'll know what to do. Has anyone been able to post a Nostr event? Okay. Reposition this. Ah! All right, well, I might just call it good here. We were able to read Nostr events. This was about 10 minutes. I don't want to bore you too much more. But just before the thing, I had it posting just fine. How does that sound? I think we're good. Yeah. So I might come around the room and see if anybody got it fully working. I'll get it up and maybe show it off for like a minute right at the very end. How about that? All right. Well, thanks for following along. Let me know if you have any questions. I can give out some more free credits for this, and you can try it. And now you all can be software developers. Now you all can build Bitcoin wallets and Nostr clients. Welcome to the future. Thank you very much.
And exactly, thank you. With the nice app. No, actually, I'm gonna say, I have to talk to you now. So we are moving on. First of all, there is an I still need to. There's an unspoken rule in Berlin of stickering, because you do
Oh, thank you. Because you do have stickers, right? Like there are stickers lying around. In Berlin, don't sticker anywhere where are not other stickers. So the rule is generally, if you see another sticker, put a sticker there. But if there's no sticker, please don't. Because otherwise it's, I mean, there doesn't, like, I mean, you get it off easily, but otherwise it's other people who have to do the work. Exactly, I move on. Food is getting ready, but we will still look at the rest of the presentations, which is now Zevin Petrosyan, I hope I pronounced it correctly. Petrosyan, and he will be talking about how AI and decentralizations are reshaping media freedom and resistance to censorship. He is senior software engineer from Armenia, and with that, I want to give you the stage.
Thank you so much. So I'm Zevin Petrosyan, and as introduced, I'm software engineer, and this is honestly the first time that I'm participating in this kind of event. And to be honest, I'm really excited to be aware about this kind of lots of things about freedom and about technologies that will help us to reach the goals regarding this censorship resistance topic. So, and me and our team, so trying to solve some problems regarding publishing on decentralized network, and so to be paid. And so I'm going to introduce also our CEO and founder, Peter Yaret, and who is actually doing this kind of things. And just this time I tried to do it myself. So he's built CBS publishing platform. Maybe most of you already familiar with him. Yeah, so our topics are the following. So we are going to discuss some, both the AI tools that now we are using our daily life to enhance our strategies, and so our daily flow, and also the Nostr and this protocol. So we are trying to make them together to build more powerful apps that will help publishers and individuals to publish, to earn, and to be listened. So there are some examples. So what happens now currently concerning increase of censorship in every type of country. It doesn't matter so which this is a dictatorship country or authoritarian country. Some examples you see here on the screen. India tells X to block over 8,000 accounts, or some Brussels sues 5 EU countries for failing to enforce digital censorship. If to be more kind of predictable, I can say that this is about some news that every government now tries to use AI and this kind of tools, which will help them to not allow publishers and individuals to be heard, not as before that they are using another strategies like only blocking your website or IPs, or just to silence you. But now this job can be done by AI, by government, which is kind of more strategic and can be more dangerous in this case, because AI can learn every time and to more enhanced. And in this screen, we say that it's never been easier to publish, get paid, and get distribution, as now several tools like Substack, Behave, Ghost, WordPress, so they allow publishers to publish their articles on web, RSS, mobile, social media, and to have subscribers. But from the other end, governments are blocking this website and IP addresses, as I mentioned just now. And with email traffic, social, and subscriptions. And the next question that we are facing is the next topic is how AI can help them to do these kind of things, and to AI power censorship, as we are calling it. It's dynamically block websites by evaluating content, tracking social graphs, who repost and comments on content, and lots of other things. So I will mention in this case, as a software engineer, that the algorithms that they are using, the government and other countries also have known platforms that they are using to block your transactions. And the AI that these tools now currently using, they are just trying to understand not only keywords, but also the meaning. So what you are going to say, what's your distribution, and who listens you. And the problem now is not the publishing, but so you can publish, you can write about everything, but the problem is who listens you, who will know about you. But these AIs don't let you be listened and found it. So you just be filtered out or deranked in this case. The next screen is about Nostr, and I believe we talk much in this event today about Nostr and censorship resistance topic. And I will also like to introduce with my words, so what Nostr is and how we are using it. So so we are combining this publishing RSS feeds mobile with AI and also with Nostr. And in this way, so it's kind of, I wouldn't like to say new, but for someone it's hard to use. Don't include it in their daily life, so I will say. And our platform is built to help them in this case. So they will see like kind of similar UI web application or mobile web application as they are usually using for their kind of daily life. But also we automatically will publish and will generate for them this kind of posts on different relays, and also in web on mobile, and also in Nostr relays. So it will be included automatically in their usually live, so usually publishing style. So here is the. So I will introduce our layer 3 press platform. So I will say it's not only platform, it's also provides some infrastructure that you can build your own website with your domain. And so future editor, as you see, upload images, videos on Blossom, integrated Blossom CDN. You have your personal AI assistant for generating several images for your articles, or generate some summaries for your content. And so as you see, it's pretty simple. And then you will generate your media files, your summaries, titles. So it will help you to kind of just to be very good content apart from text. And you will publish it web, Nostr, mobile, for the future also on Telegram. And let's move forward about publishing. So I guess we talked about this part, so how it helps you. Yeah, and about payments, so creators sell subscriptions with Bitcoin and fiat currencies. So we have integrations with full Bitcoin subscription for payments, integrated Coinus wallets, Bitcoin Lightning, Cashew, and Nosters app, credit cards via Stripes, because someone's are still trying to kind of to not use these crypto strategies, or for some reasons prefer traditional ways, and so just card. And because of this, we provide for Bitcoin and Stripe subscriptions as well. So you can have several kind of subscriptions for your different blogs and for your different plans, like free one or the paid content. And our latest features that I would like to produce, it's the AI news hubs for oppressed countries. Now we have some examples here of, also I will do some demonstration. So you can import some from some sources using your keys. You can import this from some sources, some articles, and schedule them and publish them. And they can be, for example, government alliance versus opposition media. And then our platform will generate this kind of post which will compare, like, so the opposition one and the government aligned one, and will kind of wrap it with a great summary, so the difference between opposition and government. So yeah, and again, this everything will be published on Noster web and mobile. Yeah, so the simplicity is one of the main goals in our platform. So easy for creators to publish and easy to get started to subscribe from someone using your wallets, or to accept payments with Stripe or your other wallets. You can also clone from another sources, clone your articles and sync with our layer 3 press app. So creators own their relationships, content, followers, subscribers. So this is all about your Nostr relays. And now I will try to do some demo. It's I'm not sure if I can do it with my MacBook, but I will just try to send a link to another computer and show you something. Yeah.
It's like present from video. I create a video call. You join and present your screen.
Yeah.
This side is meeting room. That's the second screen super. What did you do? Here is it.
That means you're connected to the Wi-Fi, right?
I'm connected to another phone, but if there is Wi-Fi, I'll invite you first.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yes. No? Connect.
Present your screen and you can just make it bigger so it's like
Que no se oigan. Ponlo allá, carga un poquito.
Instead of the fireside talk and the manifesto, and right now we're like 30 minutes behind. So
No,
and there's already a fireball outside.
I'm so sorry. Just
You'll find out.
Thank you.
It's gotta be nice.
I just presenting.
And we're about
I'm sharing the screen.
Okay.
Yes.
let's do it.
Yeah, here it is. So yeah, here we can. By the way, we can to show some things that I was talking about last features, that you can import some articles from different sources and show them in your website. So here it is. As you see here, we have some we have signed authors for opposition and government aligned sources, like so these ones, and it can be easily just authorized for auto publish. You can do each from each source that you want, and after doing all of this stuff, you can just click and open your site with your domain. Actually, until it will be presented, I can show the one that already we have. So this is basically your website, and here is the we are showing the post that we just imported from sources. You can click on them. Maybe small internet issues. Yeah, as you see, we have a summary here about the post. You can click and open the original article from that source. Let's wait for a minute. So let's try. Yeah, okay. So it seems there is some internet issues and I can't show everything, but you can enter here. So subscribe so whenever you like. So continue. And of course, everything will be signed with Noster, and you can so so to summarize the opposition and government-aligned medias in your main page. Oh, thank you. Any questions?
Also very, like, I'm sure you're also happy to accept questions afterwards over the food, right?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, if there's a question now for everybody, obviously. But Joe, just for the heads up, people know that we're still there, you're going to stay for the food.
Yes, yes.
Is there a question now? I'm sorry. Is there a question? Thank you so much. But lots for you.
Yeah, thank you as well.
Thank you.
And with that, we're, as I said, half an hour delay, and I can see your bellies being hungry, and the drinks are there, the food is there. Okay, the next part is a little fireside chat on decentralized microphilanthropy with Leopoldo and Anais, and have fun. Thank you so much. Sorry. I have the other mic. What is Antonio?
Thank you. Thank you. So I know it's been long, a lot of content, a lot of material to chew, but there's something that we believe it's important that we discuss. We're not today. One of the challenges that we face is how to support the causes in our countries with a way that is direct, that is safe, and also that is not complicated. We're talking about philanthropy. One of the realities that people that need, thank you, Lilia, thank you, is if you are in a country and you want to fund any of the initiatives, there's a lot of paperwork associated. And given that there is a lot of paperwork, there is also some complexity associated to getting funding. So one of the things that we want to promote is an idea that we call decentralized microphilanthropy. We know that in our countries, there are different projects or different initiatives, or even like moments of emergency that $50, $100, $250 can change the life of people, can really have an impact. So having this way of sapping through Noster, sending Bitcoin, can promote a direct engagement of people that are inside the countries that we're working on and people who are outside. So we want to work on this idea of decentralized microphilanthropy, where people that could be here in Germany, in the US, or in whatever country, they could engage with people in the countries that are autocratic and just send direct support. So this is the idea of decentralized microphilanthropy. Today with me is Anais Kanimba. Anais Kanimba is from Rwanda. She is a founding member of the World Liberty Congress. She runs the Africa Bitcoin Institute, and has been working also on this idea of engaging people of the Bitcoin community with activists beyond communicating, but to do some decentralized microphilanthropy. So Anais, what ideas can you share on this?
Well, sorry, to start, I think this idea is really important, because when you're sending money, for instance, $50, $100 through the traditional system, a lot is taken by these Western Union and others. And so already everything that you would be sending will go directly to the person without going through another organization, a company. And also the tracing is really important. So people can remain private, like we've talked about earlier today, making it easy. For instance, you just come out of prison, for instance, you need to be able to have an access of money really quickly, or a protest starts. That's where you see this more often. You need protest start, and then you need access to money right away because you need the bail. You need to have a way to connect. And so this is where the microphilanthropy can be really helpful. And one thing that we would love from the Bitcoin community is to help off-ramp people. So what does that mean? Once I get the $50, most people need to be able to use that right away. And what we've seen, for example, in Zimbabwe, where you have connected different trusted people who can exchange money for you, that needs to be built more. And application, we need to build those networks need to be, they need to grow and to be able to support those people who can receive the money very quickly. And what we've seen, I think, in ABI, the Africa Bitcoin Institute, we've seen applications like Tando, for instance, which is an application in Kenya, where you can pay with Bitcoin directly. And so if more developers are creating application that allows people to be able to pay in their local currency directly after receiving Bitcoin, this really can support this idea of macro philanthropy that we're trying to present. And so there's a lot of scaling to do, but the benefit is that it's getting straight to the person who needs it in the moment that is very urgent. And sometimes the time it takes to get that through the traditional system makes it a life or death situation.
So Noster, as we have seen, is basically a Bitcoin community so far. Most of the conversation is around Bitcoin. We are including activists, we're including grassroots organizations, and what we want to do with this concept of decentralized microphilanthropy is getting the Bitcoin community engaging with people at the grassroots level and being able to support some of these initiatives. So let's say that there is a humanitarian need for an emergency happening in whatever country, then if people are looking at this, they want to be engaged, they see that there are some activists, or some initiatives in the ground, then they can send SAPs immediately with no paperwork, no KYC, no delay, and the money can go directly. Let me give another example. Unfortunately, our day-to-day has to do with supporting the families of political prisoners. That's something we do on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we have to send support or figure out ways of sending support to the families of political prisoners, to buy medicine, to buy food, to get support for the families, to buy, to have transportation to where the prison is. And if we have the possibility of supporting directly the families of the political prisoners, or the families of the political prisoners can engage in doing a campaign for the release of the political prisoner, then someone who could be here in Germany, in France, in the US, in Canada, they can see with the information that they're posting. They can get to know the family. They can get to know the political prisoner. They see the needs that they have, and they can directly do that. They don't need to go through a human rights organization. They don't need to go through 2 or 3 or 4 layers of organizations and do this directly. This is on a very early stage, but let me give an example on the humanitarian potential that this has. We saw that the U.S. government closed USAID. USAID was spending $40 billion per year in humanitarian aid. However, most of that aid was staying in Washington, D.C., or was staying in second or third layer NGOs. And at the end, only 20 cents of the dollar that was being spent in aid was going to the end beneficiary. If we do it directly to the end beneficiaries, it could be much more effective. So imagine this, we in Venezuela, but this is true in Africa, we have people that are being displaced for different reasons. We have refugee camps. We have hundreds of thousands of people. Imagine if people in these refugee camps that are being displaced have a way to receive a direct support from people outside, people who are seeing the news, people who are being sensitive, people who say, I want to help. And the moment people see the news of something that they are engaged in, if you don't have an immediate way of connecting, they will move on. They will move on to the next news. They will move on to something that is happening in their life. So that moment of engagement is lost. So this is also a way of connecting communication with direct financial support.
Yes, and on those lines, for instance, a lot of people see human rights violations around in their community, specifically in Goma, in their eastern Congo right now, you have a war that is backed by the Rwandan government. People seeing human rights violations on a daily basis. These people are also displaced, but they all have a phone. And being able to connect on Nostr and others is this platform where they can feel safe that by taking a picture, showing what is happening, they can show to the people outside of Goma, outside of Africa, that, this is happening, and they can get that it's an incentive for people to continue documenting these human rights violations that they see. And then that continues within circular economies as well, too. People are trying to find ways to be able to pay and buy different needs like food, like medicine, and these things, being able to get directly and being able to be the witnesser of your own reality, what's happening, can be very helpful. And then again, you connect the person putting their life at risk by being able to document the situation, but also helping them protect themselves from a way that they can continue surviving by having food and other things. And this is where we really need the development community to help. How do you then make sure that this person who has the sats can be able to use it in many different ways? And we are here to learn more and to figure out these ways to really do the end part, the off-ramping, being able to connect and doing other application like Tendo, like I mentioned in Kenya.
And it's a way of motivating people that are either in the humanitarian or in the pro-democracy, human rights field to produce content. If they start getting some support from the content that they are producing. If you are in Congo, we were with our delegates from Congo, the level of atrocities that are happening in Congo or in many of the African countries today as we speak. So only 2 weeks ago, or in the past 2 weeks, thousands of people have been killed in Tanzania after the election, thousands of people. And that's not even in the news. Nobody knows about this. There is very little information about this. But if we have people on the ground in Tanzania or in Congo getting all of this information, posting this information and posting it in a way that people can, once they read it, they have a button just to immediately support. It can create a direct link that doesn't exist today. That level of direct engagement it could be a huge innovation for human rights, for humanitarian, for pro-democracy, for political prisoners. So this is a new approach. It's a new concept that we are developing, but we believe that it could have a huge impact. A lot of money goes into aid, but a lot of that money stays in bureaucracy. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And the reason why a lot of that money stays in bureaucracy and why they justify it has to stay in bureaucracy is because there are all sorts of compliance and bureaucratic justifications that they need to put together. So there are complete buildings in Geneva, in Washington, D.C., in Brussels that are full with bureaucrats that are only there to guarantee that they are complying to all sorts of rules. So at the end, 80 cents of the dollar that is being given is staying in Geneva, in Brussels, in Washington, D.C., and it's not going directly to the people that need the funding. So this is the concept that we're working on. Of course, Nostr is an alternative. Huh? I don't know how to. Yeah, but, okay. So my mic is off, but my voice is loud. So no, it's okay. It's okay. So that our conversation, it's a beginning of a conversation that we want to have with different organizations, but especially we want to motivate people on the ground, and we would love to have people to create, for example, an idea that we have is to create the Freedom SAP Fund. To have a fund and to identify accounts of activists, of people involved in different initiatives that we would like to support. And all that we would need to do is just to follow these accounts, look at their content. If they're producing good content, if they're supporting good causes, we can just, with a button, just SAP and have them receive these funds. Of course, there are some of the challenges that we have heard about today. How do you off-ramp? How you make this money from Bitcoin in order to make it useful? But our experience shows us that when it comes to money, people figure it out. People figure it out. I can tell you my own experience in Venezuela. We have on-ramped thousands of people into Bitcoin and stablecoin, thousands of people, and people of all ages, people that live in rural communities or in the cities, and people figure it out. Recently, we had a member of our movement, Isidro Leon, that was sent to prison. Isidro is 82 years old, and when he was detained, his wife Morela called me. Morela is 76 years old, and she said, I need support for Isidro because I need to give him his hypertension medicine and it needs to get to him tomorrow. And I said, Morela, did you download Ferry? Because we were working with Ferry. And she said, yeah, I took the course on Ferry. And within 2 minutes, I was able to send her $250 in order for her to buy the medicine. Doing it in the regular way would be, send me your account. I'm going to do a transfer of an account. It would have taken at least 2 or 3 days, but it's not just the time. It would have been also the exposure of the people sending the money and of the people receiving the money. So our call for our community of developers is to keep this in mind, of the power of the SAPs, not just to have fun with Bitcoin here and there, send SAPs as a way of circulating Bitcoin amongst friends, but using this as a tool to help people in the ground. What else?
Well, I think you've said very well. I'm like, yes, yes. No, and this is really important from the developer perspective because we really need to find this connection to make these things really tangible for people. The need is there, and we see it every day, and we continue to see it in many, many areas. For instance, like when you think of USAID, and we're talking about like freedom fighters. But you also have small communities, small villages that need to also be able to access this funding. How do people who did education programs, now all of them don't have any more funding anymore. And again, this funding through Bitcoin and through Nostr and other, like Zaps, can support because the organization, they're a small organization. This is an organization for like 10 people, organization of 20, 30 people that they don't have the resources to be able to do the large reports. But again, if they can have the access directly to them and working people within the Bitcoin community to help them, again, bring it further off from being using it in their larger communities will create kind of the effect that we want, is the effect of real change and change that's directly supported by the people.
Yeah, so on this issue, if there are any questions, we would love to hear if there's any curiosity, any questions about how we can also have this dimension of philanthropy and giving and engaging. Anybody has any questions? I know I'm standing between you and the food, so I'm very conscious of that. And the views. Yeah, no questions. So this is, yes.
Yeah, one question. Thanks for the explanation on everything you told. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it is very easy with these technologies to bring money in the form of Bitcoin to everyone with internet access, at least. But what about, because these people most of the time will need the local currency. How do you...
Will need what?
The local currency.
Yeah.
And how do you bridge this gap?
Yeah. Well, so for instance, I think Courtney earlier was telling us in Zimbabwe, for instance, it's being able to identify sellers where people can exchange, trusted people that they can go and exchange the Bitcoin into that local currency. But at the same time, this is where we're talking to the developers. There are also ways to be able to I like this application called Tando, where you have your Bitcoin wallet and you can pay directly in Kenyan shillings. So you're at the market and somebody is selling tomatoes and you are able to just pay directly with that, and it converts. So there are possibilities right now. We need to grow them and have them in many other places. But I think the challenge right now is, so I say it's like the off-ramping, how do you actually get to use it? But we've seen solutions. And so this community, this mapping, what they did in Zimbabwe, they have mapped where all these trusted resellers are that they can kind of go to. And then we need to be able to communicate that to the folks who need it the most. This is something that at Africa Bitcoin Institute, we're looking into, like, where are all these people placed? How can we identify them in a secure way and allow people to know where they need to go when they need to exchange money? Because people, the question you get, oh, how do I get Bitcoin? We have that solution, but how do I use it after? And that is still a bit more difficult. But the technology exists. We've seen really a strong example like this one in Tando, but also the human connection is there too. The ability to create a network of people who can exchange their money for you that is trusted. And that is already starting to happen. And so we're seeing, like Leopoldo said, people will figure it out, but you need to make it easier for them. And this is, I think, the human and technology can connect together. But it is growth. And this is an idea that we're presenting. So you can help us think more about this and come up with more ideas of how to make this a reality.
Yeah. So I know. So I understand that we're hungry. So yes, you have.
I would like to ask you how to integrate organized Venezuelan grassroots organization with this network, because I think that we have a contribution as a diaspora, but I don't see the link. How can we integrate this work together?
Well, this is precisely what we want to develop. I mean, there are so the question is, how can we connect the diaspora with the grassroots cooperatives or the diaspora or the grassroots initiatives that are in any country, by that matter. So this is another great example of what we need to connect. So we need to connect. In the case of Venezuela, our country, we're 30 million people. 10 million had to leave the country in the past 10 years. So we have a third of the country that is living outside the country. And in order for the diaspora to connect financially to the people in Venezuela, it's not easy. It's not easy. They have to do transfers in bank accounts. They have to do it in different ways. So precisely about this is what we're talking, is finding a way that you can, if you're in the diaspora and you want to support something, you can do it by Nostr. You can send Bitcoin. Ideally, you will be able to transfer that Bitcoin into a stable coin, which is used all over, in the case of Venezuela, in many of the vendors. In the case of Venezuela, you can pay with Binance in any or in many merchants. So what we need to is to create this link. People to start thinking in this way, to start thinking to connect the diaspora, to connect people who want to help inside, and our work, the work that Anais is doing in Africa, and there are many other initiatives, the work that we want to do in Latin America, the work that others are doing in other areas, is how to explain the people to convert that Bitcoin into money that can buy in the countries. So our experience is, once it comes to, if it's about money, people will figure it out. And I'll give you examples. When we organized the election last year, we were able to support tens of thousands of people that were in the voting booths using Bitcoin and stablecoin. And they all figured out how to get the support. But I know that the time is up. I would like to, this is the last panel, right? Yes. The last panel. So I'm going to stand up. I'm going to ask all of you, please, to stand up. Yeah, you have something? Yes, stand up. And we are going to formally and officially finish this first ever event in Berlin in the context of the Berlin Freedom Week about decentralized resistance. I want to thank all of you.
I want to thank all of you. This is the beginning of a new way of including Bitcoin Nostr with activists, humanitarian initiatives. Thank you to the Berlin Freedom Week. Thank you to the World Liberty Congress. Thank you to Anna. Thank you to our host. Thank you to everyone that came from different places to come here. Stay connected. We will get you connected. And we have great food for you and some drinks. And I hope you had a great time. Thank you. Thank you very much. Freedom, freedom, freedom.